How do you take a well-loved ancient story full of gods, magic, women, and trickery and strip out almost all of the gods, women, magic, and trickery? An adaptation is an adaptation, so you expect there to be omissions, things that have been abridged, things that have been combined, especially for a text that would take 11 hours to recite. But you still expect that the key themes and characterization of protagonists would stay constant, right? At the end of the Odyssey movie, it very clearly says, based on Homer's Odyssey. And as someone with a master's degree in classics and an internet channel devoted to Greek and Roman mythology, my opinions are of course going to be coloured by my academic background. I have, after all, studied the Odyssey, Homer, and Greek mythology at length. I knew this would impact how I enjoyed the movie, but I had hoped and idealistically predicted that someone who didn't know the plot would probably love the film. That even if it was a bad adaptation, it could be a good movie, and maybe it could even encourage widespread interest in Greek mythology. I no longer feel that way after seeing the film. People with no prior knowledge of Homer have come to me after seeing the movie with questions, so it's possible that Nolan intended for there to be at least some assumed knowledge of Greek mythology among his audience. But if that were the case, why did he manipulate the narrative and the characters to the point where it was, in my opinion, a very different story to Homer's Odyssey? I almost wish he had named it something else. I have mentioned in other videos that you don't need a degree in classics, archaeology, history, or film studies to have an opinion on this movie. As a consumer of film, anyone has the right to discuss it. So even though I hated it less than I was expecting to, I still really hated it. But what was interesting was that my husband, who didn't know the original poem and has loved other films by Christopher Nolan, hated this film even more than I did. He found it disjointed, boring, loud, and thought the dialogue and world building and illustration of characters severely lacking. We both felt that there was so much effort put into the marketing of the film, the A-list actors brimming with actor baggage, and appearances in upcoming movies together, the almost manufactured online controversy and social commentary, etc. It felt more like an obvious money grab than a serious and artistic film experience. But people have asked specifically for my review, and I'll warn you now, it's on the whole quite negative. So if you love the film and you worship Christopher Nolan, please take your delicious bean soup elsewhere, and hateful comments will be reported and deleted. If you've seen my earlier videos, you'll know how I feel about the lack of Bronze Age Mediterranean being incorporated into the costuming, armor, statues, and ships. And God, were those Viking replica ships distracting. So I won't be going into my opinions on the quote-unquote historical accuracy of the film. It is based on a myth, yes, but the myth is set in a distinct time period, the late Bronze Age, if that wasn't made known to you by some suspiciously self-aware dialogue. But historical accuracy was never Nolan's intention, and that's fine. There are plenty of other things I want to discuss,